Truth and facts are currently tysoning for their lives against questionable WhatsApp forwards, blue-check expositors, and Facebook AI memes. While most people think this battle ends online, poor people bear the brunt of most of disinformation. Before I continue, here's a message from the Rapture in the Truth and Disinformation Space Continuum. Hi, I'm Dis. Hi, I'm Miss. And we are Information's best friends. Yeah, this is a game we like to play called Truth or Dis, where information lets us say what we want and see if people who enjoy her work can tell us apart from the truth. 60% of the African population is under 25, with many in developing economies barely accommodating them in the job market due to underdevelopment, poor structured industries, corruption 2.0, or regular no plan to create jobs for the youth so they don't overtake career politicians by building their own wealth through innovation and determining their own futures outside of begging for opportunities and handouts. You know, just regular Africa 101 stuff. In its place has come a flurry of opportunities, taking advantage of vulnerable youth who just want better for themselves. According to an article published by AP, young African women were micro-targeted on social media through their favorite influencers and online ads that promised a far-away adventure in Europe, a free plane ticket, and money. All they had to do was complete a 100-word Russian vocabulary test and a computer game. Money and a European adventure? Sign me up. If you're in a country facing crippling unemployment, this is basically a Mr. Beast meet and greet. Most of them aged 18 to 22 participated in this online recruitment, and the adventure ended up being building drones in a factory in an Alabuga factory in Russia's Tatarstan region. The initial promised wage was 700 USD, but it was rounded down to a cool slightly above 500 USD. Although these young women are under heavy surveillance and most of their earnings are used to survive, they choose to stay as long as they can provide for their families back home. Vin Diesel would be proud, but black tax is the reigning champ in African families. Young African women at the forefront of poverty and high rates of unemployment are ending up at the back end of war machinery manufacture. When asked about the young women employed at Alabuga, the Ugandan Ministry of Gender's backstopped with concern, but hit that Peter about having any Ugandan women in any form of exploitative employment. In Kenya, there are several recruitment agencies more unverified than the dietary benefits of flat tummy tea, sending young unemployed Kenyans directly into the kafala system. Purity Mbogo, a 33-year-old Kenyan teacher, was seeking a teaching opportunity in Saudi Arabia through a recruitment agency but ended up working in housekeeping. This trick or trick is direct misinformation fed to a person seeking better opportunities. She found out about the housekeeping job when she landed in Qatar and her passport was confiscated. GOK decided to tap into this export labor market to stop these recruitment agencies, but when Kenyans questioned who the employers were, they were met with Cabinet Secretary reassurance selfies, some good old gaslighting, and the brilliance of setting up Arab homes to help Kenyans familiarize with their new environment. At least 371 women died in Saudi Arabia between 2020 to 2024, many of them being domestic workers. Unfortunately, information about which recruitment agencies have been flagged or banned are either trapped behind a newspaper paywall like eyesight behind some cataracts, or available in one of the clickable links you can hopefully identify on the Labour Ministry website. However, the ones published are in various online newspapers you have to scour through and copy-paste so as to remember. Hopefully, these banned agencies are struggling in the creative scamming department and won't start new ones under different names. Most Kenyans are left to navigate this landscape with faith and the spirit of discernment, while GOK makes them line up in suits for hours with the hope of stopping this duping completely. The impact of mis and disinformation goes far beyond just being misguided. Poor people are continually presented with false, inaccurate, and incomplete information from Cambridge Analytica that shared misinformation ads during the 2017 elections, which interfered with the Kenyan self-determination process to open AI's summer jobs that paid a lot of their workers significantly low wages. All these dis and misinformation pathways have detrimental consequences to people's lives. So instead of putting them in the direct line of fire, give them the facts. Thank you for joining us this evening with Lo and Beholdy. If you're looking for a job, we are here with an exciting opportunity from the Gulf Cut, where we will ship you directly to a job you will be horrified by. Gulf Cut knows exactly where you will work, but they want to keep it a secret until your passport is taken from you as a maskini. They know you don't have a choice and they will always advocate for human wrongs. Gulf Cut, shipping you directly to terrific job opportunities. Beholdy, leo ni siku gani? Wewe umeambia your relatives about Gulf Cut? Yes, my two relatives. The use of disinformation to exploit and harm poor people becomes a question of what the government is willing to do to counter or end it. And press statements expressing shock or concern are not enough. If families wanted just words, they would find regular yappers to fill in the gap. The sinimi na kushoification of jobs abroad continues with very little resolve for worker protections. For Kenya at least, this has become a foreign policy issue riddled with a lot of fence-sitting, failure to adhere to labor migration policy, and adoption of new unsustainable measures to avoid cutting the hand that feeds them. GOK definitely needs some allies to help solve its unemployment crisis. But where is the line drawn between sovereignty and allyship? As long as young citizens, especially the poor, continue to be vulnerable, like African liberation in the hands of foreign allies, the line of sovereignty will be thanosed into oblivion to maintain allyship.